Hey, ¿qué pasa, Calexico? Welcome back to the podcast. Like always, before we begin, I want to thank a couple of people. I want to thank my anchor sponsors. I want to thank my friends Camilo, Sergio, Jake, and Dylan. Thank you guys for sponsoring the podcast. I also want to thank David Castellum. If you're thinking of buying or selling a home in the Imperial or San Diego counties, make sure you contact David. He's not only a realtor, but an investor with over 20 years of experience, and he'll teach you one of the most important investments of your life. So make sure you contact David. His phone number is 760-235-9576. You can also find him on Facebook. Just search David Castellum. Also, something that I've been trying out is I've been trying to shout out local businesses just so that, we help out our local businesses, our friends in the community. And today I want to shout out my friends at Golden Dragon Restaurant here in Calexico. Before this whole pandemic thing happened, they were the place where I used to go and record my podcast. I really miss going there and, seeing the people and seeing Patty and everybody at the restaurant. So, make sure to check out Golden Dragon here in Calexico. They have one of the tastiest Chinese food in the valley. They're located at 928 North Imperial Avenue here in Calexico. Their phone number is 760-357-8422. Make sure to call them to place and to go order. You can also follow them on social media. So shout out to Golden Dragon and Patty. Thank you guys for, allowing me to record my episodes before this whole craziness started. And also before I begin, I want to make sure that I remind everybody that's listening to this episode that this is not an endorsement. It's just an opportunity for my guests to come on and, talk about themselves and, kind of like, show the community why they're the right person for, the position they're running for. Not an endorsement. All right, guys. So today's guest is, a returning guest. This is her third time on the podcast, and every time she's been on is, for a different, occasion or situation. My friend and guest today is Marta Singh. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for this opportunity. I really appreciate you sponsoring or at least giving a shout out to businesses. I think that that's important when we talk about being a supportive community. Absolutely. That's what we need. We need encouragement. We need support. And we also need to make sure that, we're listening to our business owners and giving a hand up. Right. So I appreciate that. And I think you also made me hungry because my office is actually at San Diego State. So I too would really enjoy having meals there and the company and the, great kinship that they offer there. So absolutely. I'm happy to support businesses throughout our county, however we can, whether it's, pick up or, drive through or delivery. So good. I want to just echo that I appreciate that opportunity to make sure that we're doing that and supporting our local businesses as they start to recover, in this crisis that we're experiencing.
Yeah, for sure. So just before we begin, for those who might not know who you are, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Absolutely. Good afternoon. My name is Marta Cardenas-Singh, and I'm running for El Centro City Council. I want to share that I have been a very strong advocate and a consensus builder and a true community service advocate in providing my time and my services to my community. I currently serve as president of Mana de Imperial Valley, which is a Latina organization. It's actually at a nationwide level. And we really work at empowering Latinas in leadership development, promoting higher education, scholarships, and also having the opportunity to mentor and support either students or young ladies who are entering into the workforce. So that is one of the duties I carry. I'm also vice president for Seroptimus International of El Centro, also working with young ladies and women and making sure that we have that sisterhood and that connection and that we're mentoring each other as we're going into our career. In addition to that, I also serve as treasurer for VO Neighborhood, which is a nonprofit organization that just started as a result of COVID-19. And what we do is we have a program. We applied for special funding through grants, and we're actually having a Meals to Heal program for individuals who are recovering from COVID and need a support system in regards to making sure that they have meals that are being provided for them. Individuals may not have a support system, or if someone in the home is ill and therefore isolated, it makes it difficult to be able to grocery shop or leave their home because they have to stay within those parameters. So VO Neighborhood is that program that allows us to deliver meals to individuals who have COVID. And also I'm treasurer for ARC, which is an industry. It's actually an organization that provides services for individuals with intellectual disabilities. And we have an opportunity where we have a drop-in center, we have case management services, and then we also have job training and development. So we really like to place individuals in work areas so they can have that value and that worth of having a job and earning a paycheck. And so we know that that's really important in making sure that we have purpose. So as you can see, I have an extensive background in making sure that I am providing my services and my time to the betterment of my community. So it was a natural step for me to take a look at broadening my leadership ability and now seeking a seat at the El Centro City Council.
Besides the, like here in Calexico, I think El Centro has a big, I don't know if it's a big or a problem, but like they're in the paper a lot because, like we've been in the paper for some issues that we've had, and so has El Centro. But besides that, like I really don't know much of the politics in El Centro. Can you tell me a little bit about your views of, the El Centro politics or the city council, how they manage the city, and how you feel you could, be an asset to the city council?
Absolutely. As we're experiencing this pandemic, we know that we have to be innovative. We have to be innovative in regards to how we look at recovering in our business aspect and also in our healthcare aspect. So I'm really taking a look at having a strategic plan, looking at different options, because we also understand that we're going to have rolling outbreaks. And with rolling outbreaks means that, it changes our level. So it changes our ability to do our business work, how our city functions. So I know that the most important aspect is making sure we have a strategic plan and contingency plans to ensure we have a blueprint. We need to have a blueprint in regards to how we run our day-to-day activities and our business in our city. And therefore, it needs to be a collective voice. We need to make sure that we have all fair representation at the table. The city of El Centro has a very special infrastructure. We actually, as a city, have 3 board of supervisors that represent our city. We have 2 IID directors, and we have multiple school districts that also are part of our city. So this really means when we say we are in this together, it means we need to have those stakeholder meetings and taking a look at how we can recover through this process or prepare for this process and make sure that we're able to move our city forward safely, and also assisting our business owners so that we're able to stimulate our economy and open businesses safely and with the protection for employees and for its citizens. So yes, the work in front of us, requires innovation, and it requires a collective voice, and it requires stakeholder meetings so that we have a very solid strategic plan with contingencies based on whatever level that we might be in this pandemic.
You mentioned all these, these things you're a part of. And, as it is for somebody, I mean, for me, like it would be like a really full plate. And going into this campaign, a lot of people might kind of shy away from it because of COVID. We're going to probably see a little bit of hard times due to, funds not coming in as the way we would expect in the past. What made you decide to run, especially, like I said, you have this full plate of other activities, and why now?
The truth behind this is when you have this drive and the ability to lead, it lends itself. That is something that comes from deep inside. Both it's a devotion from the heart, and it's also having the ability, the intellect, to be able to view and have a perspective from a wider angle. So that is what I'd like to bring. Likewise, I serve on other nonprofit organizations, and it really has given me the opportunity to still be able to provide those services, whether it's through mentorship, working with young ladies in our Hermanitas program, or mentorship with other women who are entering the workforce. It just means we do it differently. We either do it virtually, we do it with phone calls so that those connections take place. And that is the added value that I would bring to the city of El Centro, where my ability to move our city forward, being innovative and taking a look at how we still need to have that connection with our residents. You know, many of our business owners are struggling, and we need to really have town hall meetings, you know, virtually, if that's the platform that we have to use, in regards to hearing feedback. What is it that they're experiencing? What type of budget crisis or income crisis are they experiencing? And how can the city help and alleviate some of those stressors that are put on them? Is there state and federal funding? And we know that there is, but we also want to make sure that we're teaching and facilitating those workshops where we can walk a business owner through the loan process so that they're successful in getting the grants or the funding to be able to open their businesses and continue their businesses. So it's very important that when there is opportunities like that, that we also make sure that we're providing that support, you know, whether it's one-on-one, through meetings, virtual meetings, or the simple fact of just having someone walk you through the process over the telephone. You know, it does us no good to post it on a website or to post it, you know, in an ad in the newspaper. I'm talking about rolling up your sleeves and really helping our business owners recover.
Mm. You talk about Hermanitas and Mana. How does it feel to be part of, you know, this group of 31 other women running for, I think it's a historic number here in the Valley, you know, running for, you know, public office?
Yes, thank you for that great question. I was one of the individuals, myself, Yuli, and Maria Peinado. The three of us sat down on a Friday evening and we thought, what a monumental moment to be able to have this as a hallmark moment for other young ladies and students to take a look at the depth in regards to women who are ready to lead. And so we, in a matter of 24 hours, we contacted all of the candidates that were vying for a seat. And we thought we need to make sure that we have this monumental moment placed in the history of the County of Imperial to show and to really highlight the importance of women being at the decision-making table and being a voice in regards to their community. So whether that's for a student that's thinking about running for ASB, if that is a student that is attending, you know, college and is interested in being part of the Associated Student Government, or whether it's us as adults who are taking a look at, you know, elected positions in our county, in our city, whether it be on a health board, an education board, or how we run our city on a day-to-day basis. So we knew that that message was important, and we knew that we had to really showcase it as an opportunity to show growth, mentorship, and to be a beacon for other young ladies to take that on. It's not easy. You have to be bold, and you have to be fearless. You have to be prepared, and you have to have that opportunity to, you know, to lead and to push forward during a campaign. And it's been wonderful. I have learned so much throughout this process. I've had an opportunity to meet with amazing people and have great conversations, you know, where they have shared concerns or insights. You know, I've learned everything from swimming pools to skate parks to senior citizen centers to the downtown area, business owners' concerns. So I have really appreciated individuals who have come out and trust, you know, in me that I'm listening and then I'm ready to lead and to move us forward. So it has been a great opportunity. We do it differently. You know, I wish that we could campaign like we normally do and have meet and greets or attend events. But, you know, it really has allowed the opportunity for us to have that one-on-one conversation, whether it's, you know, on Messenger, on Facebook, or a text message or a phone call. So it's a mix, a little bit of, you know, grassroots, old school, if you will. But at the same time, you know, it's also been done on social media. So it's a wide range of how we're communicating with people. And I have appreciated everyone's trust in having those types of conversations. We need to hear from our community.
Yeah. And it's something that, a lot of women, not only here locally, but nationally, are running for, these like the positions. But another thing that I've noticed here in the Valley is that a lot of young people are getting involved. A lot of young people are running for it. And El Centro has two somewhat young men that are running for school board. Calexico has a young lady running for school board and another one for running for city council. What are your thoughts on, these young generations getting involved and wanting change?
I think that that's a testament of the work that we do in our community. Many of us work with doing mentorship programs, and we work with students or we work with college students. So absolutely, I see that as a true testament that the work and the impact that we're making in our community is making a difference, because we have young individuals who are ready, stepping in and wanting to be active in our community, in our government making process, in our decision making process. So I think that that's a great benefit. It shows that, we have worked really hard to get young individuals to want to take that step. I absolutely see it as a positive. We have to, when we talk about decision making, we have to make sure that it's equitable and that we're hearing a voice from all age ranges. There is no one specific age range. So I'd like to see that the decision-making table is reflective of our community so that we are all represented and that we're all having a voice. And so absolutely, I applaud the 34 women that are going through the same process I am, running for election or re-election, and likewise for this younger population of individuals who are also applying, themselves in trying to have a seat in government. So absolutely, I applaud them.
Yeah, and I feel that sometimes from talking to these young kids that are running, and I mean I call them kids because I'm almost 40, and they're like some of them are early 30s. But some of them are getting this feedback where like, oh, you're too young, you don't know, you don't have any experience. Or what do you think of experience versus like knowledge or willingness to learn and just do better for the community?
To me, leadership does not have an age, and it doesn't have longevity. So I've been hearing a lot, well, I've been serving for 2 terms, 4 terms, whatever the terms may be, or the number of years that someone has served. We also see employees who have been at their job for many years, and longevity doesn't mean that they're a better employee. So I think when we talk about leadership style, leadership ability, innovation, and the ability to be a forward thinker, it's not really measured by age. It's not measured by longevity on doing a job or sitting on a seat. It's really a skill. That's what we're looking at. We're looking at someone's skill set. And like I said, our governing boards should be reflective of our community so that everyone has the ability to amplify their voice, and that we take a look at services or activities that are going to take place in our community or in decisions that need to be made that are reflective of our residents. So I don't measure that by someone's age or because they've been in that position for, a long period of time. It's about effectiveness. That's the measure.
Yeah, for sure. I know that whenever all these organizations you're involved with, I know that whenever there's events, you're there, you're active in the community. How important is it for you to, as a city council member or somebody that's elected to like a position like the one you're running for, how important is it for you to be part and also involved with the community?
Yeah, I have been a community advocate for many, many years, most of my life. My first job was at Imperial County Office of Education, and I was overseeing the AmeriCorps program, which is a service learning program. That was my first job at County Office of Education. So I really had the opportunity to see what service learning was like in regards to providing community service in our community, tutoring, working with our senior citizens. And then we also had community service projects throughout the county. And I think that really is what fueled my heart to continue to serve my community. It was built at It was built in, that excitement was built into me in a very young age. And then I have been fortunate to be able to still have that opportunity to give of my time. And the benefit is great. I meet amazing people, and I see people who have overcome such difficult challenges, and they triumph in life. And to know that I'm a very small portion of that success is what fuels me to continue to provide my community service to my community. So I've worked, like I said, that was my first job. And so, yes, it's very important when you are in a service club or you're part of an organization that is looking at the betterment of your community, it really allows for those discussions to take place. It's very easy to sit at a desk, or sit, in a different area and look at it from a different level. But when you're there in the trenches, hearing specifically what those hardships are or those unmet needs, that's what really guides the decisions that need to be made. That's what we need to hear. You and I are both educators. We know for the average as a county, we're at a 70% free and reduced lunch rate. So that statistic is concrete. It lets us know that we have at least 70% of our students that are meeting that minimum, income threshold in regards to being a free or reduced lunch student. So we already know that we have individuals who are struggling, who have, a social economic background that requires a lot of support and resources. So that is what we need to reflect when we're making decisions for our city and knowing what are the needs of our community. So absolutely, it's important. I continue and will continue to provide my community service in the leadership capacities that I have here in El Centro, because those are the guiding principles and the voices that I hope to amplify as I'm sitting in as a city council member to talk about those unmet needs.
Yeah. As someone that, say you get elected, do you feel that somebody that's in a position like a city council member or school board member or county, do you feel that you should be held at a higher standard than a local everyday citizen?
Absolutely. It is a must and an essential, vital part of who we represent in our community. I am an educator. I am a role model, and I am a leader in my community. I cannot take off that hat of being held to that standard. I cannot say I'm only an educator from 8 to 3 o'clock and then I'm no longer an educator. I have parents and students and community members who hold me to a high standard. And the truth is, I hold myself to an even higher standard when it comes to the reflection of who I am as an individual. So absolutely, it is essential to have great character, integrity, and to be that reflection for our community in regards to holding ourselves accountable and to also reflect the values that we have in our community.
With all the organizations you're part of, and events that you do and connections that you've had along the way, how do you feel those will benefit you as a city council member?
That trust and that communication is already in place. So the benefit to that is when I say that I'm a consensus builder, and those communication and that trust is there. So it allows me to, pick up the telephone and have those conversations, or hold a meeting, a town hall meeting, or a meeting in general where we bring in all of our stakeholders and we take a look at having a collective voice in making a decision, taking a look at things from a holistic perspective. We all have our own area of expertise, and that is what we bring to the table. And then when we make these decisions, we know that we have heard from all of the stakeholders and taking a look at the implications of the decisions that need to be made. So absolutely, those connections, that trust that comes from those built relationships is a must.
If you had a magic wand and you could say, as a city council member, like, I want this to happen in the city of El Centro, what would that be?
For me, one of my primary concerns is the downtown area. I don't know if you had the opportunity to walk our El Centro downtown area. But that has probably been one of my greatest concerns. I have this great nostalgia of the downtown area, where it's an area where we could bring in, families and children to really enjoy the wonderful shops and the businesses that were in the downtown area. It was a place where we had ice cream socials, and we could have festivals and activities at no cost. And at the same time, business owners had the opportunity to set up tables where they could sell their items. And it just gives you a sense of community. It makes you feel that your community has embraced you, and it offers you a great space to be able to bring your friends and your family just to have a great time without it really costing much. And I think that's the part that's missing. We need to have that sense of community in one, specific place. I think of downtown as the heart of our city, where we could have those opportunities. So that is probably, if I were to have a magic wand, that would be one of my areas of focus, right? Magic means that, you hope it happens. For me, it's more than that. It comes with a plan and a vision for the downtown area.
Yeah, because, I haven't walked there because it kind of feels a little bit shady. But, the last time I was there, I think I was at Strangers. I interviewed one of the local people from there. I don't know if you know Jared Storm.
Yes.
I interviewed Jared because I followed Jared for a long time, and I love what he did for the local artists. He was always trying to put up whether it's a gallery of their paintings or art. And from what I talked to the people there was that they didn't really feel they had the support of the city. They were always getting shut down whenever they would do, like you said, like put out tables and do like a little pop-up shop and stuff like that. So yeah, like I feel that sometimes the city makes it a little bit harder for the downtown area to kind of like attract attention for people to stop by and socialize with each other. And that's the biggest thing. I like you were saying, like come down, socialize, and at the same time help out these local businesses and people walk around and buy stuff. But yeah, I just something that I remember talking to Jerry was that he felt that the city wasn't really behind them, and I don't know why, if they were trying to do good for that downtown area.
Yeah, I get to visit the downtown area in Yuma. I visited the downtown area in the Coachella Indio area, and it is the heart. It's showcased. It's an opportunity where it reflects the city and a place of pride and excitement for what the city offers. So I think we need to really take a look at least for me, that would be one of my platforms that I really would like to take a look at what needs to happen to the downtown area so that we're able to provide those opportunities, whether it's for business owners, for families to be able to have a great place to enjoy a downtown area. And then for our local artists, we have amazing, and because I work with students, that's the advantage I have is they're so talented, whether it's through music, through painting, they just are so artistic. And unfortunately, there isn't a place for them to showcase some of these very talented skills and abilities that our citizens or our students have. So in my mind, that's what I would like to see, where we had, once a month, we had an opportunity where we could showcase art or have local musicians in the area that could come down and, showcase their music. Or if we have, for example, women entrepreneurs that would have the opportunity to come in and whatever it is that they're producing or making, whether it's candles, soaps, etc., jewelry, and that would be a great opportunity. And then likewise, if we have young entrepreneurs, that they would have the same opportunity to showcase and highlight, their products. And so it takes a community. It takes a community to feel and embrace its citizens to have this great place and avenue, to be able to just bring people together. And it doesn't really cost money. It really doesn't. And we feel proud, and I want to feel proud of my downtown city.
Yeah, and especially sometimes like these artists are, most of the times they're struggling artists that might be don't have that revenue coming in. But something that I've noticed is that they're really willing to help out and volunteer time and teach kids, or they're really they don't see the uh, they don't see it as something to make money. They're trying to help out the community, trying to help out kids, teach them how to draw or play music. I mean, obviously we would want to get them paid, but I'm sure a lot of them would be willing to kind of volunteer time and because I feel that a lot of the times when we let people, let's say, do a mural or something, they feel they feel like ownership of that area, so they'll be more willing to keep it clean, keep it safe. So I feel that, yeah, like a lot of things, like you said, don't really cost that much money, and a lot could be accomplished by tapping into these people's resources and knowledge and just willing to help the community.
And I love seeing that in the city of Imperial. They do such a wonderful job with the farmers market, and Calexico does such a wonderful job with the farmers market as well. So, it's a win-win. It's a great opportunity for us to visit, the downtown area. And then at the same time, we're also supporting other local businesses, right? We're purchasing, produce or, merchandise that is being provided, by local business owners. So it's a win-win. Once you take that collective voice and taking a look at how we can all truly help and support each other, and then offering a great place for someone to bring, their family on a Saturday or a Sunday, whatever evening that might be, at no cost, I think that is the value. The outcome is so much greater than the input that it would take, to put it together.
Yeah. And I guess the biggest outcome is, community, that sense of community, bringing everybody together and yeah, like, learning. I just feel that, that's something that most of the cities in the Valley need, that sense of community and togetherness. But yeah, anything that I haven't asked you that you would like to add? Any closing thoughts?
I just want to share with you, my father actually retired from the city of El Centro. He worked for the city of El Centro for 33 years. So I have seen the hard work that is done in regards to being a city employee. And I really would want to take this opportunity to thank our city employees for the work that they do in our city. They do put in a lot of time and a lot of effort. They're very proud of the work that they do. I know I had great respect for my dad. He wore his City of El Centro orange shirt. And, there was so much pride in that as a child and as an adult. Of course, I'm very proud of my dad. My brother also served as a city councilman and mayor for the city of El Centro. And I hope to do the same. So you could see that in our family values and the core beliefs that we have is that we embrace and we love the city of El Centro. I'm a third generation, my children fourth, and the one that makes me the most proud is the fifth generation, which is my grandchildren, who are the future of the city of El Centro. So when we really talk about why I'm running for the city of El Centro, it's because it's who I am. El Centro is my home. And I would love to be able to serve in the capacity of leadership to move our city forward and to really make a difference for the future, for the future of my grandchildren.
Yeah. And it's something that, a lot of the people that I talk to that are running for office are, they want to have something to show their kids in the future, but they want to make sure that, the city they're in, is still there and is still something, the same thing that you remembered, growing up in El Centro. And yeah, that's something that, I've been thinking about running for Calexico City Council, but every time election season comes around, and I see like how nasty people get, I'm like, what? It's not for me. Especially not right now because I have a 12-year-old son, and I don't know. I feel like it would take a lot of my time away from home, and I just, I'm not ready yet to invest that much time. But yeah. I think the biggest thing, for me, and I kind of agree with you is, making sure that where we grew up, because I grew up here in Calexico, and yeah, like all the memories that I have growing up here, they're kind of like fading away because it's not the same city I grew up in. There's not that sense of community anymore, and I think that that most of our cities, that's what we need to inject more of it, so that we're a little bit of a happier place, and everybody is, because I remember back then we would see people and be happy to see them and say hi. And now it's kind of like people they hold a lot of grudges, and I just feel that, we're all in it for the city. We're all in it to make, whether it's El Centro or Calexico, that's our goal, like to make it a better place to live in. And yeah, just going from what you said, and yeah, it's true. We love our cities. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's home, and so we have to hold ourselves accountable. We have to have the opportunity to have vision for our city, and we have to bring innovation. That means that we're holding ourselves accountable for finding different ways of doing city work or bringing improvements to our community. I just read an article today, and it was amazing. The city of Imperial, what they have done to support their local business owners is that they have closed the main street where there have a number of restaurants, and they closed the main streets to open to have that open access in regards to them being able to have a wider range of patio seating. So the street has been closed. Restaurants can expand their patio seating so that their residents can actually come in and enjoy, their delicious food, help business owners. And then it no longer is a limited capacity issue because you're able to extend all the way out into the street. That is the innovation. That is forward thinking in regards to a win-win situation. You're helping your local business owners. You're helping your community members who truly enjoy and want to spend, time with their family having a delicious meal, and that the community has embraced and offered an opportunity for you to bring your family to a nice, beautiful, safe place where you can enjoy the city. So that's what I'm hoping to bring. Innovation, taking a look at things from a wider lens to be able to support all of us in this recovery process in this pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. All right, Marta.
We're ready for you. We're ready for you to run. You need to have that voice. I will tell you, people, ask me all the time, Martha, how long ago did you decide that you wanted to run for the city of El Centro? And I've been wanting to run for a long time. It's always something that I have had as a goal for myself. It wasn't like, it was last minute. And people ask me, Martha, how is it that you have decided to run, for city council during the most difficult, predicaments under a pandemic and looking at a crisis, a budget crisis in front of us. And my immediate answer is, I am ready because I'm ready to lead. There is no handbook. There is no, step A gets you to step B and so forth. It really takes a look at forward thinking, outside of the box thinking, and really hard work, rolling up your sleeve and taking a look at what state and federal funding is accessible to our area so that we're able to provide additional services. So yeah, whenever you're ready, you'll be ready. I don't know if there's a perfect time.
Yeah.
What just needs to happen is you're ready to leave. And I think how powerful is that for your son to see you on a campaign trail, wanting to make a big difference in his community, a betterment in his community, than putting yourself out there. I'm going to be honest. It's not easy. It's hard. It's a lot of hard work, but it's expected. And I've taken on the challenge and it's been a lot of fun. I'm going to be honest with you. It has allowed me to connect with so many people.
Yeah. And then, especially you that, so many people in the community and not only in El Centro, I see you come to Calexico and, talk to the kids here and to the families here. So yeah, I bet that, you're seeing, the community in a different way now, not only in the education sense, but, in the way that, especially right now, we've seen a lot of needs due to the pandemic. So like, you're getting to know those needs that we probably neglected for a long time.
Yeah. Food insecurities is probably the largest. So we're looking at individuals who have food insecurities, shelter insecurities. They don't have a home. We're looking at very difficult circumstances, and we have to act. We have to act. We have to be prepared, and we also have to be innovative to be able to fill in those gaps, because it's something we have not experienced at this magnitude. And we know that families are struggling day to day. Businesses are struggling day to day. Students are struggling and how they're receiving their education day to day. Educators and how do we teach our students on a day to day So if you think about all those stressors that come into place, I think those are all the factors that we need to think about when we're talking about a city council member, that when we're talking about our residents, we're taking a look at it from a holistic point of view in regards to assisting our citizens.
Yeah, for sure. All right, Marta. Well, thank you so much for taking this time. I know you're super busy, especially right now with campaign season. I want to remind everybody this is not an endorsement. It was just an opportunity for you guys to get to know the candidate. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you. Can I just add something real quick, please,
for sure.
for any of the viewers? If you have any questions or any concerns, please feel free to call me. My number is 760-540-9687. I also have a campaign page. I also have my personal Facebook page as well. You're welcome to call me, text me, send me a message through Messenger. I really would like to hear your insight and your concerns for the city of El Centro. Thank you.
And I'll leave your social media in the notes of the
wonderful
of the episode. But yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you for watching. Make sure to keep safe, wash your hands, wear your face masks. It helps everybody. It helps our local business reopen. It helps our hospitals, stay normal, and helps everybody just stay healthy. So, stay safe. And thank you guys for listening, watching, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.